Have you ever felt like your team is working at full capacity, yet your output remains stagnant? Your organization might be suffering from a bottleneck. This is where the theory of constraints, TOSI, comes in, offering a powerful lens to optimize your processes. Just as a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, a system's overall performance is dictated by its biggest constraint. We'll explore the 5 focusing steps that underpin this theory, providing a practical roadmap to identifying and eliminating constraints. By understanding the fundamental principles of 2K, we can unlock hidden efficiencies and significantly boost productivity. The theory of constraints isn't just a conceptual framework, it offers a clear, actionable process for improvement. This process is embodied in the 5 focusing steps, a cyclical approach to continuous improvement. First, we must identify the system's constraint, the weakest link, holding everything back. This could be a physical bottleneck, like a slow machine in a factory, or a policy bottleneck, like an approval process that takes too long. Once the constraint is identified, the second step is to exploit it. This means maximizing the output of the constraint by ensuring it's never idle and operates at peak efficiency. The third step is to subordinate everything else to the constraint, aligning all other processes and resources to support it. The fourth step is to elevate the constraint, which could involve investing in new equipment or streamlining processes. Finally, the fifth step is to go back to the beginning and identify the new constraint, emphasizing the iterative nature of talk. At its core, the theory of constraints shifts our focus from maximizing the efficiency of individual components to optimizing the flow of the entire system. It recognizes that a system is only as strong as its weakest link, and that focusing on improving non-constraints will not significantly impact overall output. Imagine a chain with several links, one of which is significantly weaker than the others. Strengthening the other links won't make the chain any stronger. In fact, it might even put more stress on the weakest link. By identifying and focusing on the constraint, we can maximize the throughput of the entire system rather than getting bogged down in local optimizations. This holistic approach, focused on flow and dependencies, is what sets TOC apart from traditional management approaches. The beauty of the theory of constraints lies in its versatility. It's not confined to the walls of a factory. Its principles can be applied to a vast array of industries and scenarios. Let's take the example of a manufacturing plant struggling to meet demand. By applying TOC, they identified a bottleneck in their assembly line, a single machine with a significantly lower processing capacity than the others. By focusing on optimizing this machine's uptime and throughput, they were able to increase the plant's overall output significantly. Now let's shift gears to the world of software development. A software company grappling with delayed releases and missed deadlines might discover that their bottleneck lies in their testing phase. Applying TOC principles, they could streamline their testing process, allocate more resources to it, and even automate some tasks. These are just 2 examples of how TOC can be applied in vastly different contexts. The theory of constraints isn't just about identifying and managing bottlenecks, it's a fundamental shift in how we approach management. It challenges the traditional notion of maximizing the efficiency of every department or individual, recognizing that this often leads to local optimizations at the expense of the overall system's performance. Instead, TOC encourages us to adopt a systems thinking approach, understanding that every part of an organization is interconnected and interdependent. By focusing on the constraint, the weakest link in the chain, we can maximize the throughput of the entire system and achieve significant performance improvements. This requires a shift in mindset from a siloed approach to a collaborative one, where everyone understands the importance of the constraint and works together to optimize it. By embracing the 5 focusing steps, organizations can foster a culture of continuous improvement, where identifying and addressing constraints becomes second nature. The journey to operational excellence begins with identifying and managing your constraints.